Well, I woke up this morning and the New York Football Giants have seen the light. A little too late at 2-8, but the news out of MetLife, of course, is New York Giants have benched struggling quarterback Daniel Jones and expected to name Tommy DeVito as their new starting quarterback. This, of course, is coming from Adam Schefter. It was time. It was one of those moves that was probably needed to be expected. It's the end of the era, and we can only hope that. I find it interesting. I find a little bit of irony that the game that launched Daniel Jones's career was versus Tampa all those years ago, and at 4 years, $160 million, and less than 2 years ago when he got that contract, he's being benched for the Tampa game. It's one of these things that the entire league saw it. 31 other teams would have passed on Daniel Jones in free agency. The scuttlebutt was 2 years ago that no one would have given Daniel Jones more than the $8 million that Mitchell Trubisky got when he went to Pittsburgh. But our old buddy Joe Shane, because no one could screw up 5 and 7, doubled down, then tripled down on a beyond average quarterback named Daniel Jones. And when we had that contract signed, when the ink dried, I did a video that said that this was going to set the Giants back at least 4 to 5 years. And people are like, well, Tim, you have no idea what you're talking about because there's a 2-year out on this deal. And they're, no. And I've tried to explain this to people over and over again. You signed Daniel Jones to that contract. The year that kicks in, I even said, if he flames out or plays poorly and inconsistently, that starts your new quarterback clock. So you've already lost the 2023 season. And I said, if you don't draft a quarterback in 2024 and you go back with Daniel Jones again, there's your number 2. So hopefully you're going to draft a quarterback or find a quarterback in year number 3, which is 2025. You figure you got to give your quarterback, your new quarterback, at least 2 years minimum. So that's 5 years. This franchise has been pushed back because of that bad contract for $160 million. And we can all give Joe Shane a big thanks. Everyone say it. Thanks, Joe. Let's all give Joe Shane a big thanks. Because he could have went out and got a Russell Wilson last year. He could have went out and got a Justin Fields. Hell, he could have went out and got a Malik Willis, who has more wins this season than Daniel Jones at 3. But no, we double down, we triple down, we quadruple down on a quarterback that just should not have even been on this team. Now, everyone's going to remember Tommy DeVito winning 3 straight games last year. He replaced at that point in time the injured Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor. But then he struggled mightily in that game against the Saints, and we never heard from him again. It just goes to tell you how bad is Drew Lock if you got beat up by Tommy DeVito. Drew Lock has been the number 2 quarterback on this depth chart for how long this season, and he got beat out by Tommy DeVito? Listen, you gotta like Jersey Shore Tommy. It's probably one of our most favorite sound bites that we've had recently. But I mean, is he the answer? I mean, really, did you think that maybe you should have gone with Drew Lock? But I've said this before when we signed Drew Lock, and I always joke because I always told people Drew Lock's not the answer. Drew Lock's not even the fucking question. But how bad is our quarterback room that we had to evaluate between Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito to decide who was going to start against Tampa? I mean, listen, I'm happy for Tommy because Jersey Shore Tommy. Wait for the beat to drop. Just so we could play that over and over again. But he is just, I mean, you're going to have that segment of the crowd base that's going to be so excited for Jersey Shore Tommy. But I just sit here and think what could have been. What may have been. You took Malik Neighbors at 6. I don't think that was a mistake. I think, I do think it was a mistake in regards to the fact of why you took Malik Neighbors. You took Malik Neighbors because you wanted to give your quarterback a better opportunity, or you were saying over and over again, we got to keep getting weapons and offensive lines for Daniel Jones. Well, we go out and get weapons and offensive lines for Daniel Jones. It never works out. Darius Slayton on Sunday, Nick McLeod got picked up by the 49ers. He's on the practice squad. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. And Darius Slayton basically went out and posted on X that, Nick is now a free man. Basically meaning he's free of the garbage and the minutia known as the New York Football Giants, because Slayton's had to deal with it forever, because Slayton's been one of the reasons why you have to go out and get weapons for Daniel Jones. You have Evan Ingram. You go out and get Golden Tate. You go out and get Darren Waller. You draft Kadarius Toney. You draft Wan'Dale Robinson. You go out and get a Paris Campbell. You got Dane Bellinger. You got Theo Johnson. You went out and revamped the offensive line I don't know how many different times. And you threw Saquon Barkley away because of the fact that you couldn't have a $40 million running back handed off to a $40 million quarterback handing off to a $12 million running back. Well, it seems to be working out pretty well in Philadelphia. And I love the people like, well, the Giants could have like 2-3 more wins if they have Saquon Barkley. You know what? The idea of an NFL season, I know a lot of people don't know this, is to win games. That's the idea for the fan base. That's the idea for the season ticket holders. Giants currently ranked 32nd in the NFL with 15.6 points scored per game. They're going to be in line, hopefully, to get a top pick unless we fuck it up again. And more likely, we will win some meaningless, stupid games that'll take us completely out of contention to get a quarterback. And you're going to have the segment of the fan base that's going to be like, hey, you know what? Tommy DeVito doesn't look bad. Tommy DeVito is not an NFL starting quarterback. It's not. And for all the people that are saying, well, the Giants are benching him so they don't have to worry about the injury clause because he wouldn't waive it. Daniel Jones wouldn't waive that injury clause. Oh, my God. First of all, we've said this before, the NFL Players Association would not allow Daniel Jones to waive a guaranteed injury clause in his contract. Plain and simple. The Giants would never ask that because of the fact that Giants would know that the Players Association would never allow it. So for all this conspiracy theorists that have this thought process of this, that they're only benching him because of the injury clause, no. Because of the fact that, like I said, because he wouldn't waive it. No, the league would not allow him to waive it. Joe Schoen came out, and you have to take Joe Schoen with a grain of salt every time he speaks. And he says, it was a football decision. Well, I can't fault him for that, because if you look at Daniel Jones's play, the football decision sucked. And people keep forgetting that even if you get rid of Daniel Jones in 2025, there's still a $22.2 million dead cap number. Now, you can split that over 2 seasons, but Joe Schoen has had the propensity of taking all the dead cap space up front, which I never really understood why, but that's just what he likes to do. So even if you're not paying out $30 million, you still have $22.2 million of dead cap space on the books for the man. So, I mean, I think the larger question of this equation should always be, why did it take the Giants so long? I'm not looking at Daniel Jones' season right now and thinking back to every single game and thinking to myself, well, you know what? There were moments that I really thought that he could turn the corner. I was thinking, and I can't think of a game that really stuck in my head saying, hey, you know what, listen, he's looking real good. He's 2-8, 63% of his passes, barely 2,000 yards, 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. That is an average quarterback from Duke. His biggest game in reference to yardage was the loss in Dallas at 281. And then his stat line looks like this: 180, 176, 236, 281, 257, 205, 99, 264, 174, 190. And I love it because then you look at his 52% completion, 57, 70, 72, 67, 53, 66, 53, 76, 59. And this is a guy that's only throwing the ball about 4 to 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. His average yard per attempt is under 6. So that means the ball is only traveling 6 yards off the line of scrimmage. The average completion or the average catch for Malik Neighbors is 6 yards off the line of scrimmage. His yak is only 4. So either Malik Neighbors is not as explosive as we think he is because of the fact that he's not getting any yak, or the quarterback's not putting him in a position to catch the ball to get any yards after the catch. Which one seems more feasible? Which one seems more plausible? I think that would be that Daniel Jones is not throwing him into a position where he can gain any additional yards. And like I said, you look at his career, he's 24-44 and 1. He should have been benched a long time ago. A long time ago, he should have been riding the pine. We should never have had to deal with 6 years of Daniel Jones. 6 years. Think about that. We've had to deal with this bum for 6 years. It's time to move on. It's time to have this understanding that it's just not working out. And even though we had to watch Hard Knocks, and Joe Shane told us this is Daniel Jones' year, if you want to laugh, let's laugh. Let's all laugh together. Dave Brown's record overall, because he also played some other games elsewhere, his overall record in his 10-year career was 26-34. He was actually 23-30 for the New York Giants. That's what kills me. Daniel Jones is 24-44 and 1, but somehow Dave Brown only is 7 games under 500 compared to Daniel Jones. This is the mediocrity of this team. This is the mediocrity mindset of this coaching staff, of the general managers, of the ownership, that we allow talent to leave and we keep talent that's not NFL talent. I wasn't going to the game Sunday. I'm going now. Because you know what? Even though I know Tommy DeVito is probably going to get wrecked, because Tommy DeVito is not an NFL starting quarterback, how delusional we want to think he is, he's not. But you know what? It's going to be a lot more fun to watch that mess and then maybe have the hope and the opportunity that Tommy DeVito actually completes a pass and down the field to one of our wide receivers, and I may just fall over and die. But I have to go watch the spectacle. Oh, I don't know. We might have to do a live stream today. I haven't decided yet. But as always, this is Tim. This is Online Big Blue. This is New York Giants Sports Talks, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell because you want to know why. That'd be awesome.